you guys, thank you for tuning into this video. Today I'm going to show you my super delicious and easy mini sugar cookie recipe. I'm also going to show you how I decorate them so easily so that they're ready to be added onto your cakes and cupcakes. I love using these as toppings and my customers really appreciated that extra flavor and texture it added to my dessert. If you give these a try, be sure to let me know how they turned out, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every week. So without further ado, let's dive into the recipe. As usual, I'm going to start off by mixing my dry ingredients. This recipe calls for flour, baking powder, salt, and cornstarch. Cornstarch prevents excessive spreading while it's baking and also helps to create a soft texture. Okay, so now I'm going to cream my butter and sugar together. I'm using cold butter right out of the fridge, so you don't have to worry about bringing it to room temperature. I'm also using my handheld mixer, but feel free to use your stand mixer with your paddle attachment if it's easier. We also want to cream this for 2 minutes until it's just combined. Since we are making a sugar cookie, we don't want to incorporate too much air into the dough, so it's important to not overmix. Now I'm going to add my egg and vanilla extract. This is optional, but I love adding a little almond extract to my sugar cookie recipes. It just gives this very nice, light, and nutty flavor. So I'm just going to mix all of this until it's just combined. Again, we don't want to overmix, so do not mix this for over a minute. So now I'm going to add my flour in 3 stages, mixing only until just combined after each stage. Towards the last stage, it will be tougher to mix because the dough is starting to come together. So once all of the flour is in, you're going to want to work the dough with your hands. So to finish off mixing the dough, I'm just folding it in. You can stop when you no longer see any flour. Look at the speckles of vanilla. You know it's going to be delicious when you see that. Okay, so now I'm flouring my work surface and I have my dough here, which I'm going to cut in half because I'm making mini sugar cookies and I can get a good amount with just half of the dough. I'm going to wrap the other half in plastic and freeze it, but feel free to use up all the dough and cut it into any shapes or sizes you like. I'm just rolling out my dough here and I'm just shaping it into a rectangle by shaping the sides with my hands, then rolling it out a bit. I'm going to repeat that until I have my desired shape, and I'm also monitoring the thickness to make sure it's just 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. You don't necessarily have to make it into a rectangle shape. It doesn't have to be any shape really. The most important thing for this part is to just make sure the thickness isn't too thin. So now I'm just using my mini heart-shaped cookie cutter. You can use any shape, any size you want. Sometimes I'll cut out mini stars, which are great toppings for baby shower cakes or children's birthday cakes, but my favorite is using the heart shape because it's so versatile as a topping. I'm placing my cutouts on a baking pan lined with parchment paper and just speeding this along for you guys. I'm using an offset spatula to help me separate and pick up the hearts. You can re-roll the dough scraps, of course, and cut out more shapes. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and while that preheats, I'm going to put these in the fridge first for about 10 minutes because we want to bake these chilled to prevent spreading and so that it will hold its size and shape. So here they are out of the oven. I baked these for about 7 to 8 minutes because they are so small. If you were making bigger ones, they will need more time in the oven. You'll know they are ready when they are starting to turn slightly golden brown. You'll also notice the bottom will be slightly brown as well, and those are the 2 main things you are looking for when figuring out if these are ready or not. Once they are cool, you can put them in a Ziploc bag, store them in a freezer for up to 3 months, and use them as needed. Alright guys, it's time to decorate. We are going to quickly marble some fondant by putting a bit of food coloring. I'm going to fold that in and I'm just going to keep folding it in until the color spreads a bit. I'm not looking to color the whole thing pink, so I'm going to stop folding here and roll it out. You can already see a little bit of the marbling coming through. I'm just rolling it out now and look at that beautiful marble design. It's so satisfying to see. It's so cool what a tiny bit of food coloring can do. I'm using the same heart-shaped cookie cutout I used to make the cookies, and I'm just going to cut out a bunch so I can stick them onto my cookies. Sometimes you'll be able to just pop them out from the cookie cutter, other times you'll need to remove it. If your fondant is for whatever reason a little sticky, you can actually put some powdered sugar to dry it out. So for the fondant scraps, I like to save it for next time by wrapping it tightly in plastic wrap. I have some edible adhesive by Wilton here. You can actually use a little bit of corn syrup if you have it on hand. Frosting should work as well to stick it on. Just starting off with a small batch and putting a little bit of edible adhesive on each of them. Then I'm going to stick the fondant hearts on them. I'm giving them a light tap and the adhesive should dry in a minute or two. I'm finishing off the rest of the cookies, so I'm just speeding this along. As I said, I love using these to top off my cakes and cupcakes. It just adds a really charming and delicious element. As you can see here, sometimes I won't even add the fondant and I'll just sprinkle the cookies off with edible gold dust. This is such an easy recipe, guys, and the decorating portion is so straightforward that it is totally worth just having the cookies on hand, ready to enhance any sweet creation you make. I hope you guys found this recipe and tutorial helpful. Let me know in the comments if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.